All right, guys, so let's take a real close look at your numbers. So, guys, what you can see in front of you is an actual spreadsheet that we give all of our 100K coaching program students and also our therapy maximizer students, because I really need them to understand and develop a love for the economics of their business. One thing that's not taught by really any other mentor or anything like that is looking at the numbers really closely. We have to understand there's a lot of moving parts with our business, guys, as therapists and coaches, but a lot of our time can be spent on just maybe getting the client or just doing social media. And if you can get clients and you can do the social media and you do get leads coming in, it tends to still have issues with the business because the numbers of your low prices and the economics of your business do not match. So let me explain what this really looks like. We have to understand that time is going to be the biggest issue in any business, whether you want to start a business, grow a business, and especially when you get into scaling a business, guys, the biggest bottleneck all business owners will face as therapists, as coaches, RTTs, or NLPs is time. Now, I've talked about this idea of what I call my 80-20 rule before in previous videos. I'll leave a video below for you guys to check that out. But basically, the rule of thumb is we want to be spending 80% of our time finding new clients. So we're doing social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, could be TikTok, could be anything like that, doing the strategy calls, talking to new clients, starting conversations, which only allows 20% of our time to actually sit with our clients. Now, what happens if this 80-20 rule is backwards because your prices are so low, meaning that in order to get to a certain amount of money per month you want to be earning, you've got no choice but to sit with back-to-back clients. Now, the biggest issues with this is if you're spending 80% of your time with clients and only 20% of your time trying to find new clients, you're going to notice this in your income. 1 month you'll have money because the month previously you had no clients. Let's say it's January. In January, you want to get a whole bunch of clients. So what do? You blast social media. You're everywhere. You're taking massive amounts of actions. But sometimes those actions and those things you do in January don't show up until February as clients. So usually this is what happens. January, you go crazy on social media. You're doing strategy calls. You're talking to people. You're booking people in. And then February, you get so back to back with your low price clients. You're charging $50 or $100. And yes, you've got paid. That's fantastic. You get excited. But all through February, you now have to treat all those clients, which doesn't allow you any time to do what? The social media, the stuff that got you those clients in the first place. So in January, you go from no money, no clients, to February, you have a bunch of clients and a bunch of money. Then because February, you're sitting in a whole bunch of clients, what happens in March? You've got no clients and no money again. So what do? You freak out in March again. You do all the things you did in January to get those clients. You get a massive influx in clients again. You start making money. And what happens the month after that? It goes down. And you're constantly doing this up and down, up and down, up and down. And this is very common as a therapist or coach. I went through it as well. But then I had to realize that I'm spending my time, far too much of my time, with clientele. And I realized that's not where my business actually grows. My business actually grows, just like you guys, when I'm spending my time trying to get my next client and my next client and my next client. And this is one of the first big things, the first big rule of thumb that we teach all our students is why they have so much success. We're doing the 80-20 rule, 80% of the time on social media, 20% time with clients. Now, I want to prove this point even further by guys looking at your numbers. Here's the case that I hear often. A lot of therapists and coaches will come to me with the goal to make $10,000 per month, which is awesome. So it's $120,000 for a year. That's a six-figure therapy and coaching business. However, that's the goal they have. But what they're not looking at, and they overlook while they're too busy making logos and websites and doing social media, they overlook their numbers. So sure, they want to earn $100,000 per year, but they're only charging $50 or $100 here or there. Now, the business might start off really well. They start generating clients and money, but then the next month, because they've been so busy with low-cost clients, it goes down, it goes up, and it goes down. And by the time they get to the end of the year, they're burnt out, they're frustrated, they're overworked, and they haven't even come close to the six-figure mark. Now, their goal right then is they assume, okay, well, it must be some sort of mindset issue. It's some sort of abundance block. No, what I'm here to show you guys is let's look at the maths of your business. And I get really excited about this because I love looking at the numbers. Maths doesn't lie. And guys, when you can really adopt this attitude of high prices, which I harp on about in every single video, it'll make all the difference in your business. You'll stop this ebb and flow. And instead, you'll see a consistent growth month to month to month, and you'll have to do less work for it. Less time with clients, making more money. I mean, who doesn't want that? But let's have a look at this. So again, this is a spreadsheet we've made up, and I'll run you through how this is all calculated. So this is a self-calculating metric sheet. It really analyzes the numbers of our business, and it's going to let us know based on what our annual revenue is, whether it's $100,000, $200,000. Some of our students are doing $300,000 to $400,000. And what we need to know is if I want to earn $100,000 per year, I should know how many strategy sessions per day I need. Now that alone should give you a light bulb moment. Imagine knowing that if I could get to $100,000 per year, I'd only have to do 2 strategy calls per day. As long as I close one of them, I can get to $100,000 per year. So what would your goal be to do each day? Get 2 strategy calls. But however, if your goal each day is sitting in front of your laptop thinking, okay, no idea how to get a client, no idea how to make this money, no idea to do this, this, and this, is because you're not looking closely at your numbers. You should know how many strategy calls per day you need. You should know how many strategy calls per month you need. You should know how many clients per month based on your current prices you would need to close in order to get to this annual revenue. If you don't know these numbers, you're just guessing. And that's why your business is in so much turmoil and chaos. So annual revenue, we're going to work out how many strategy sessions per day I need, how many strategy sessions per month I need, how many clients per month I need in order to get to this annual revenue. Now, obviously, when it comes to the client price, this is where the metrics start. If your prices are too low, it's going to blow all of these numbers out. And in order to get to the annual revenue of $100,000 per year, you're going to have to spend far too long doing too much other things, too much time with clients, too many low quality clients, too many low cost clients, and these numbers are going to get blown out and you won't be able to adopt that 80-20 rule. Remember, 20% of time with clients, 80% of our time acquiring new strategy sessions, acquiring new paid customers. All right. So let's have some fun with this, guys. Let's look what the maths tells us. All right. So the quick calculation that I have inputted into this is based on the strategy sessions you would do to be closing 1 in 4 to 1 in 5 strategy calls. So what does this mean? If you do 5 strategy calls, you pretty much should be able to close one of them, regardless of your price. Now, here's the thing. As you do more strategy calls, you learn to sell your service properly. Yes, we have to learn how to sell, guys. As you learn to sell your services better, this gives you another marketing strategy or another mastery beyond just what I'm talking about today. What this means is you've got 2 choices. You can do less strategy calls now because you're closing all of them, or you can do as many strategy calls, the 1 in 4, 1 in 5, and close all of them. And now you've doubled to triple your income. What a great place to be. Okay, but I digress. So let's put these calculations in. So let's say my annual revenue, I want to earn $100,000 per year. Okay, so in order to do that, I'm going to have my monthly revenue target. I'm going to earn, let's say, $100,000, $120,000, $10,000. I'm going to put $10,000 into this part right here and watch what happens to the annual revenue. It's calculated over 12 months. Obviously, the annual revenue is $120,000 per year. Fantastic. It's not a lot of money, guys. $10,000 per month is a lot of money. It is, however, if your prices are low. So from here, now we need to input the client price. What are your current prices right now? And guys, I'm actually going to give you this metric sheet. I'll leave it in the description. You guys can download it. There'll be a link from OneDrive. Just download it and you guys can play around with this. Don't delete the file, because if the file gets deleted from the OneDrive, I'm not going to add it back in. So just realize that probably a lot of people are going to use this. Make sure you download it out of OneDrive and make sure you use that properly. Okay. So the client price I need to put in. Guys, put in your current client price. So let's say, for example, based on the traditional model that I've been sold by the traditionalists, let's say it's $100 per client. That's pretty much the going rate that everybody adds. Everyone charges their clients. So $100. Now watch what happens. Based on this, $10,000 per month, based on $120,000 per year, $100 per client, watch what happens to these numbers. Maths do not lie. Remember the 80-20 rule. We don't want to run out of time to be doing all of the important stuff. So $100 per client, $10,000 per month. I would need 100 clients per month. Pretty easy maths. The chances of you helping 100 clients per month, minimal. Now, where the hell are you going to find 100 clients per month? If you're onto this lead generation thing, maybe paying an agency or something like that, I'm going to talk about that in the next part of this video and just show you why you sort of want to avoid that strategy as well. But my whole point is here, remember the 80-20 rule. I need to be spending 80% of my time doing this stuff, okay, which still doesn't work out as far as the numbers. I need 100 clients per month. We've got students right now doing multiple six figures that don't even see 100 clients per year, 80-20 rule. So in order to get to 100 clients per month, if I'm closing 1 in 4, I need to be doing 400 strategy calls per month. Okay, now sure, I can get better at strategy calls. And if I start closing all of them, that means I'll have to do 100 calls per month. That's still better, but it's still spending a lot of my time with low quality clients. That means I need to do 20 strategy sessions per day. Think about that. If you only want to work 10 hours per day, which is a pretty good working day, but each strategy session maybe takes you an hour, you're now doing 20 hours worth of work. Here's the 80-20 rule backwards. When are you going to have the time to do social media? When are you going to have the time to talk to other clients? When are you going to have the time to service your 100 clients a month if you're doing 20 strategy sessions per day, 20 hours worth of work? So if you're looking at your business right now, and sure, you might be doing a lot of work, but you just can't work out, why can I not crack the six-figure mark? It's this right here. The maths do not lie. And like I said, this is banked on closing 1 in 4 strategy sessions. Even a bad salesman could, close 1 in 4, 1 in 3. Okay. So if your prices are low, it's going to blow all of this stuff out and you're never going to get to this mark. Okay. So let's adjust the price. Let's say, okay, Scott, I get it. Prices need to be higher. I'm going to get it to $500. Will that actually help? Well, as a matter of fact, yes, it will. Still not the best, but we're getting closer. So client price, $500, $10,000 per month. Now I need 20 clients. Okay. That's a lot better than what we had before. 80 strategy sessions per month, 4 strategy sessions per day. That's pretty good. $120,000. Can you see the difference in $400? Doesn't sound like a lot, and it's not going to be a lot to a client if you present it right. But over the distribution of your entire year, that extra $400 adds up. Less time, more money. See where we're going, guys? And this is nearly cracking the 80-20 rule. The best calculation I have found that matches the 80-20 rule is this, okay? You're going to think, Jesus, Scott, that's a lot of money. This is what I mean about the perfect 80-20 rule. $1,500 per client, $10,000 per month. I need 7 new clients per month, which is great. Okay, that's like 1 and a bit per week. Strategy sessions needed per month, 27. 1 to 2 strategy calls per day, $120,000 per year. I do these strategy calls, okay? I do 2 strategy calls. I close 1, make $1,500. Then I can spend the rest of my day either working with this 1 or 2 clients that I have per week, and the rest of my 6, 7, 8 hours per day can be spent where? YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. Doing what? Getting my next strategy calls for the following day. Imagine this, guys. Imagine you woke up each day and all you had to do was book 2 strategy calls in one day. Wouldn't that give you a goal, a simple goal? But remember, what if I told you your prices are $100? This is what you'd need to do each day. Imagine I said, each day, your goal is to book 20 strategy sessions per day. Not even have the strategy calls, just book 20 strategy sessions per day. You would wake up and think, I don't have the time for that. There's no way in the world I'm going to get that. And it's not due to you trying or not maybe learning how to do it. It's this right here. So your prices mean everything to the success of your business, guys. Okay. Actually, let's take that out, put that in the wrong spot. Let's get back to that $1,500 so we can see those metrics. Okay. But let's have some fun with this. What if I want to earn $20,000 per year? Okay. Watch what happens to the numbers. Still great. $1,500, $20,000 per year, 14 clients in a month, 54 strategy calls per month, 2 to 3 per day. Do 2 to 3 per day, $240,000 per year. And here's what I said before. As you get better at doing strategy calls, what if you just mastered that part of it, obviously brought your price up, mastered that part of it, and instead of closing 1 in 3 calls, you close 2 out of 3. And then you get to a point like a lot of our students who close every single call. So it's not they have to do more strategy calls. They're just closing more and they're earning more money. Isn't that awesome? So you go from a great price where you learn how to sell it. And once you learn how to sell $1,500 sessions, it's just, $1,500 clients. I want to get that session model out of there. Believe me, guys, it's just as easy as talking to a $100 client or a $200 client. It's just numbers. It's just the way you present it, the value that you show. It's just a number coming out of your mouth. And when you can show value and the price is higher and you start getting yeses, it comes down to this. Quality clients are willing to pay more. Have you guys noticed that when you're charging $100 per client, they're argumentative, they're rude, they're late, long-term, they have their session with you, then they come back and say, oh, it didn't really work. I want my money back. They don't send you testimonials. They don't send you referrals. And I realized this for myself when I was charging $100, the quality of my client was extremely low. And I didn't want to work with those people because I started to, for lack of better words, hate working with them. I started hating my career. I didn't want that. So I raised my price because I wanted to get those people away from me. And I started to attract just a new breed of person, a better quality of client. And these quality of client paid on time, saw the value, easier to work with because they're more motivated. They put more money into the game. They sent me testimonials. They sent me referrals. And basically I run my whole business based on referrals when I got to that point. And it wasn't because I was better as a therapist than the next person. I was just working with better quality of clients. And I realized the better the quality, the less work I had to do as a therapist. There's a key to this, guys. But really what I want to point out in this, guys, is if your business isn't functioning the way you want it to, don't just assume it's some mindset thing or it's something that you're doing wrong. Look clearly at your numbers. If your numbers are too low, it's going to affect your monthly revenue. It's going to affect how many clients per month you need, how many strategy sessions per month you need, how many strategy sessions per day. And it's going to be very, very hard for you to set a goal each day. Something we teach all of our 100K coaching program students to do is this. This is your goal for the day. The only thing you have to do is book a strategy call, your next strategy call. When you've booked that one, go ahead and try and book a second one and a third one. Now, how many should they book per day? Well, it depends on how much they want to earn. Again, guys, think of the control. I know my own coaching company. I know my annual revenue. I know I want to earn. I know what I want to earn monthly. So all I do is all the things, what I call these client getting activities, all my social media. And my goal is just to book strategy calls. Let's say, for example, I had a goal to book 5 strategy calls per day. Let's say that was my goal. As soon as I book those 5, I can be done for the day. If I book them all within the first hour of the day, like from 9 a.m. till 10 a.m., I've got the rest of the day to do whatever I want. But I don't just sit back and relax. I start working on strategy calls for Tuesday, then Wednesday, then Thursday. You see my point here, okay? So what this does, it really gives you some sort of tenacity and goal to know what you have to do each day. Your goal should be just to book clients. Your goal shouldn't be just to show up on social media and dance around and look like a fool. Your goal should be to do social media with the back goal of getting your next client, getting your next strategy call. When you start getting strategy calls in, then you want to start to improve the closing of those strategy calls, okay? If you're closing 1 in 5 strategy calls, that's great. But imagine the difference in your income when you close 2 in 5, 3 in 5. Doesn't mean you have to do more strategy calls. You can actually do less because you'll close more. See where I'm going here, guys? But it all comes down to this numbers. I've harped on about price before. I leave several videos below about what happens with low prices. Low prices affect everything in your business, not even from the acquisition of the client, but also the client quality. And it's going to get to a point, guys, where imagine earning $5,000 per month, but having to see, let's say, 100 clients or even 50 clients per month. Sure, through that month, you're going to be busy. You're going to be seeing people. You're going to be making money. But then you're going to be so exhausted and tired in, for lack of better words, February, that your income and your tenacity, your energy goes down. Then you freak out again because you've made no money, and it goes up and down, up and down. And I know for a lot of you guys, because I was there too, that's the constant battle and the constant war that you're in. So guys, please look at your numbers, understand your numbers, know what you want to be earning per month, know what your annual revenue is, know what your prices are, and realize your prices do have to go up, because if they don't, you're never going to get to this. Know how many clients per month you need. Know how many strategy calls per month and how many strategy calls per day you need. Get it down to the last metric, because then your only goal each day is to get to this. And think of how you can forecast your entire business now. I know that if I book 3 strategy sessions per day, and I close, let's say 1 in 3, 1 in 4, I'm guaranteed to make $240,000 per year if my prices are this. That is control. But if your prices are $50 here, $100 here, free sessions here, $2 here, $150 here, $1,000 here, this all gets blown out. And it's very hard to hold on to those numbers. It's very hard to get control. Business is about metrics, guys. Business is about understanding your numbers. Look at any big business owner, any company owner, like Jeff Bezos, could be the guys who own Facebook. I forget his name right now, but they understand the metrics. They understand the numbers, guys. They understand their activities. They know what they have to do each and every day to keep the business and the company thriving. But also if they want to grow and scale, they know they need to put more work in to get more of this stuff to earn more of this. It's not by luck or chance or some amorphous energy that a therapist or a coach becomes successful. The mentors that you learn from, it's not by luck or chance. Sure, they might be selling you a product that says, hey, just learn this mindset trick and you'll earn $100,000 per year. That's the product they're selling you. But what's happening behind the scenes is all this. They know their metrics. They have sales team. They might be running ads. They might be running funnels. They have sales team. They're doing strategy calls. They understand every piece and movement of their business. Sure, they'll just tell you, just follow my program. You don't have to learn anything else. But as I've said several times in other videos, look what's happening behind the scenes. And guys, this is what happens behind my business, behind the scenes. This is what's happening behind the scenes of our six-figure and multiple six-figure students. They know this off by heart. It's not by luck or by chance. So now we basically at the end of this part of the video, what happens if you think, we know what, Scott? Time is going to be an issue for me. What happens if I just have somebody else do this stuff for me? What if I pay for ads? What if I pay an agency to book all the calls for me, do the strategy calls for me, and I can make money from that? And there's a lot of this going around right now. And I had a couple of questions over the last couple of days to have a look at these different models. I was asked, what do I think? So instead of emailing, it's a great question. Instead of emailing my response, I thought I'd break down the other models that you guys might have access to in order to build the business. I want to break those down and I want to reiterate why this is such an important model to follow and why you do want to have control over your own business and not allow an agency or another company to find you leads, do the strategy calls for you, and then expect to make the type of money that you want to earn. So let's move to the next part of the video. I'll break down those other models. And again, you guys don't have to believe me. You guys don't have to follow what I'm saying, but I just want you guys to open your eyes to show how important this is and how much control you can have over your business when you understand these numbers. So let's go to the next part of this video. Let me run you through three of the other possible models. I see these in the industry right now, and they may have piqued your interest, but I want to break these down so you guys can understand how this is going to affect your metrics, how it's going to affect either positively or negatively the growth of your business based on the information I gave you before. So let's break these down. So the first one, and this is becoming pretty popular as in the therapy and coaching industry, is this whole paying an agency. So there's agencies, there's companies, there's even some of the therapy and certification mentors who offer this now as like a new U program inside their business, which is sort of like this. They have capped the price on what you can charge, which already blows the metrics out. And what they're going to do is you're going to essentially pay this company or this mentor with their new business, whatever they're trying to do, to find you leads and do the strategy calls for you, which is already a red flag. Okay. So the latest one I heard about is they've capped the prices on what you can charge as a therapist or a coach, which is $400. But you don't get that $400. Let me explain how this works. They cap the price at $400. And you're basically relying on another company to find you leads and close those clients for you. So what they're going to do is they will take care of getting all the leads for you, which is basically saying, don't do any social media, don't do any of this stuff for yourself. We'll find all the leads for you because we get thousands of inquiries on our websites, normal rubbish that people say. They're going to find you leads. And what they'll also do to take the burden off you, to make it easy for you to grow your business, they'll also do the strategy calls. Okay, so anyone that inquires through their website, they'll book a strategy call and they'll tell that person on the strategy call that it costs $400 to work with this therapist. So you would obviously have to have your profile on their website. They would settle that up for you. They'll get the calls and they'll get the leads in. They'll assess those leads. They'll do the strategy calls. They'll charge that person at the end of that call $400. However, this company will keep $300 of that. So they found the lead and they'll do the strategy call for you. It doesn't sound too bad. Like you're paying them $300. That sounds pretty good. However, they've only charged $400 for that client, which means that they're going to give you $100 per client. Remember, we did the $100 metrics before. Doesn't work. So you're going to get $100 for each client for you to service. Then it's your job to service that client that you've never spoken to, because that company has done the strategy call for you. You haven't assessed if they're the right fit for you. You've done none of that because the company has done the strategy call for you. And you don't even know if this person has met your criteria. That person on the end of the strategy call could say anything to your client. They could basically lie to that client just to get the money and say, this is the best therapist in the world. They'll do this, 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 and this. Then the client shows up. You've been paid $100 and the client says, well, I want all this because that's what the person on the strategy call told me. And you say, oh, hang on, that's not what I do. And already there's a dysfunction there. So what this is going to cause is very low quality clients. If a client wants a refund on top of that, and I've heard these horror stories already, that's why I'm saying sort of avoid this model. If clients want a refund, you, the therapist, has to give the money back, because the company that's got the lead and did the strategy call for you, they fulfilled their side of the bargain. They told you, I'll get you the lead. It could be anybody. I'll do the strategy call. It could be a very bad client, but this person's good on a strategy call and they've closed that person. It's now up to you. We've paid you the $100. If you don't work with that client or don't get them results, you have to give the money back because it's your fault, not us. We just got the lead in. Low quality clients, guys. And think of this. Let's imagine a good case now. You do get a good quality client. You've been paid $100. Now, we know as therapists and coaches, there's some preparation time. There's also some time after the session to make sure your client has long-term value. So, you know, the preparation time might be an hour or two. Get all your paperwork together. Could be using scripts, get your techniques, clean your office, do all these sorts of things. 1 or 2 hours preparation time most. Client comes in, you treat them for an hour. Could have to treat them for 2 hours, 3 hours over several sessions. So there's 5, 6, 7 hours worth of work time, setup, client time, paperwork, emails, catch up, all of that stuff. Let's imagine it's 5 hours worth of work per client to go from having their problem to the end result. 5 hours worth of work. You've been paid $100. Simple maths. You're now getting paid $20 per hour. You may as well go get a job. Okay. What do you think would happen if we put that $100 through the metrics that we did, but we also add a time element to it? And we think, well, it's going to take me 5 hours to treat this client. What do you think, guys, are going to happen when I put $20? Because that's pretty much what you're getting paid per hour into the metric sheet I showed you before. Never work. So, guys, be very, very careful of paying another agency. $400 already is not enough to build a business. We did $500, and that didn't even reach the 80-20 rule I've talked about before. So now you're getting paid $100. And let's say even if it only takes you an hour total to work with that client, you're going to have to see too many clients per month, per day, to reach that $10,000, even $5,000 per month. You're going to be spending all of your time with clients, up and down, up and down. But the biggest thing I want you to take away from this paying an agency model is you're now relying on another company to find you leads. Now, if they don't get you leads, doesn't matter to them. They've got another 500,000 customers that they can send leads to them. You're not the only therapist they're working with. You're not the only client they have. And at the end of the day, what's going to happen is this: how these people get these leads is they're going to pay for Facebook ads. If Facebook ads go up, which they do every single day, week, month, and year, you hear all experts in Facebook ads talking about this. What does this mean? The cost to acquire these leads for this agency is going to increase. So they have to recoup more money because they're going to spend more money on the ads, which means you're going to get paid less. It's already a broken model. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. Next is basically the same as here, Facebook ads and Google ads. A lot of you guys will be running Facebook ads and Google ads. But because your low prices of $100 here, $200 per there, the cost to acquire a customer is way too high. You need on average, and any expert will tell you this, on average minimum, to be spending about $100 to $150 per day on ads. But the acquisition of a client, of running those ads for several days, click-through rates, all of that sort of stuff, might work out to be about $500 to $1,000 just to get a client. So if you're only charging $100, but it's costing you a minimum $500 to get that client, you're already in a negative. And also it means that it could have the wrong targeted ads, like you're not good at writing ads, you don't know who your audience is, you don't know what your niche is, you're not targeting the right people on Facebook. The wrong targeted ads means you'll have higher click-through rates because people just click on the ad just for the sake of it. Every time they click on the ad, it costs you money. That's why the acquisition goes up. More people click on the ad, the higher it costs you to get a client. You don't get those clicks for free. means that your click-through rates will increase, costing you money. And here's what happens with Facebook. A lot of people don't know this. Just because you have a lot of click-through rates, okay, and Facebook sees, oh, this is a popular ad, I'm going to show this ad more. But if that person doesn't click through from the ad itself into your funnel, so to speak, it's going to see that, okay, people are only clicking on the ad, they're not following all the way through. It means that this ad isn't good because Facebook has a goal to service your business. It has a goal to help you make money. But if people are only clicking on the ad but not going through and buying your service based on the tracking pixels that you have to have, it's telling Facebook basically that the ad's okay, but the offer is not good. And Facebook will stop showing that ad because people aren't buying what you're trying to sell. And Facebook doesn't want to show ads to people who don't want to buy the service. Okay, so the wrong targeted ads means you have higher click-through rates, costing you money. Facebook starts showing your ad less. The less it shows, the more money you have to spend to get it shown in more places. See how that works? And again, low quality clients, and worst of all, Facebook can shut down your ads whenever they want. But you also need funnels, tracking pixels, spreadsheets. These cost you money. There's a lot of tracking with Facebook ads. And I've heard horror stories of experts. I've got friends in the Facebook industry that do all the ads, all of that sort of stuff. And they tell me, like, Scott, I had this awesome ad that was running for such a long time. I was making hundreds of thousands of dollars from it. All of a sudden, Facebook sent me a message saying it was violating their rules, and it shut down my whole account. They go from making all this money to the next day, Facebook has shut down their entire account because it's violated some sort of rules. The reason it gets violated because people, just like you guys, when you see an ad on Facebook, what do? You click on that button that says, stop showing me the ad. If that happens too many times because you've targeted the wrong people, Facebook will see that you've violated some sort of rules and it will shut you down. So now, again, you're relying on another company to find you leads, and that company can turn around and shut down your ads. And that's just the very basics of Facebook ads, guys. Facebook ads gets very, very complicated very quickly. Google ads is the same, but it's basically like a bidding war. The more people that bid for those keywords, the higher it's going to cost you to get a client. The next option I see this around is there's a new website called Bark. And it's not a criticism. I just want to point you guys in the right direction and just show you what's going on here. So Bark is a new company. They're not the only company that does this. There's other websites that do this as well. Again, we're back to the same issue. You're relying on another company to find you leads. They're a lead generation company, okay? But there's a difference between generating leads and quality clients. I would rather have one quality client on a call per day than receive 100 low quality leads, which I've got to hope for the best that I can do an awesome strategy call to close all those leads. Not going to happen. So it's just a shift in the way you perceive things. So again, when you're paying another company to get leads for you, not doing it yourself, you rely on another company because you think that's going to be easier for me. Relying on another company to find you leads, they're a lead generation. They're happy to spend, $1 on a lead and get a 2-cent lead. But the chance of that lead actually wanting what you have and being willing to pay more than, let's say, $100 for your service, which already blows out the metrics, not going to happen. And what you're doing with Bark is you're outbidding other therapists and coaches. Okay, the higher the bid, the less money you're going to make, meaning you'll make less money the more people that bid. The bid goes up. The more people bid, the higher the competition you have, low quality clients. So you can see by outsourcing this to a lead generation company or having other people control this part of your business is a dead end, guys. There's no positive to this. So what's the best option, guys? As I've said all along, rely on yourself to find quality clients. Master Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, the strategy call, sales acquisition. You've got to master all these things. You can't just overlook these things. These are part of businesses and you have to know your numbers, like we talked about in the previous part of this video. Conduct your own strategy calls. Learn how to do proper strategy calls. Find your own clients organically. You do not have to spend money on leads or Facebook ads, Google ads to get clients. We've proven this over and over. Higher prices, so the metrics work out, higher quality of clients who will send you testimonials and referrals later, allow your metrics to remain really, really healthy. Less time with clients, guys, more time to spend on social media finding the next client. 80-20 rule. Lastly, control your own business.